Hey everyone, it's Krista. I'm here. My first video on YouTube on my new channel. It's If Life Was Easy. If life was easy, I'd be doing everything the hard way, but that's how I roll, so that's okay. This here is the servo motor that runs the splitter on the rear axle of our truck, Billie Jean. And so in here is a little knobby do, and you put voltage in on these 3 wires, and then it makes the knobby do go back and forth. And so on this circuit board, there's this little resistor, and it had broken. So I replaced it, and it's good. When I took it all apart though, the gasket tore and it came apart. And so I have some Velcro gasket material I bought. And so it goes there. And so I started with, I put Sharpie marks down, and then I hit it with a hammer a little bit, and I cut that out, and I use from Harbor Freight. So you put the holes in. And so now I'm going through, and so this cover has these little raised bits on the corners. And so out holes for that, and I have a hole for this, the connectors. And then it goes this way. So it goes like that. And then I already punched a hole for the central screw. I don't think I'm going to bother moving you down. I don't know. I'll leave you there. So, yeah, I'm kind of a nutbag. I mean, I'm not going to pretend I'm normal. I am technically an engineer. I'm a veteran. And what else am I? Besides all that, I am crazy, definitely crazy. Did I make a mark for that? Those are lining up. That's pretty awesome. In fact, it doesn't want to give it back. That's really awesome, actually. So yeah, I was in the Navy. Well, to go really far back, I was in the Army Reserve first. And then I was in the Navy. And I don't know, I just never got life really. And then so like I'm 51, and it was in my 30s that I figured out I was kind of crazy and maybe I should seek help. And it turns out I'm ADHD pretty bad, like really bad. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then I got to like just start figuring out who and what I am. Like my whole life has been sort of weird. So a disclaimer on my channel, I do everything the hard way first. So don't do anything I do like ever. If you're about to do something you saw me do, you need to question your sanity, because like I'm an insane engineer, like a for real, engineer and insane. Not mad scientist, that's been romanticized. No, just insane engineer. Yeah, so kind of this truck is sort of, you could say, a project, maybe a hobby. Like some people, they want an old car, and this is old, so that counts. But we're gonna probably be moving, and we're not exactly kind of rich, so I figured if we could move our own things, maybe we could save some money. And then, so we ended up getting a rollback truck. So it's like a tow truck, but the bed tips and goes down and has a winch. And that's great because with the rollback, you could put a Connex box on it, like a shipping container. So we figured 20-foot shipping containers for our stuff. So check it out. That's looking pretty good, but I think it needs to go that way a little bit. It needs to go that way, so this side needs a little trim. So I've been on YouTube a lot, and I've been going live on the Books of Facing. I shouldn't say I've been live on YouTube. I've never been live on YouTube. This is the first time. But I've been live on the Books of Facing. There's something about reading or reading or, that past tense of reading. So I've been live on that a bunch. And folks seem to enjoy my nutbaggery, so I figured why not come here. I'm going to add it in the description, but this is the Eaton servo motor for a 2-speed Rockwell rear axle. I actually looked all over the internet to try to learn more about my part and the rear axle, and there's very little actually out there. So now we need to move this way. So we have to do this ends of everything. Okay. And that's Mitzi Kitty going by. Princess Mitzi Kitty, she's the shop cat. We have 2 shop cats. And we're at my workplace. This company I founded in 1997 and is currently run by a relative. Not by me, because I'm crazy. Very, very crazy. So, gasket making is kind of an old lost art. Folks just figure you can buy anything, so you just buy it, and then you don't need to waste like an hour of your life doing stuff. But kind of a lot of the parts for our 1986 Ford Cargo CF7000, a lot of the parts you just can't buy anymore. I do mean to go to this Ford dealership that's said to have crazy old stuff in stock, and we're going to ask them. So we'll see. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we were thinking this didn't fit right. So, we did this wrong somehow. It goes this way. There we go. So yeah, most folks just buy gaskets, and I never kind of really got that. Just make stuff. I mean, if the gasket's $3 or $5, sure. I think the card of gasket material had 4 kinds in it, and it was like $20 maybe. And I've had it for like a few decades. So the gasket material is pretty cheap to buy. And if you can't really get your gasket, then you can make it, and then you've got it right. You didn't have to order it and pay for shipping. So there should only be one of these holes. This one here goes to that post. And then a lot of folks might say, well, how come you left all this in the middle? Well, it helps give support and strength. But then also, I don't need to put in the effort to cut it back. If we were, say, stamping these out on an assembly line, sure, maybe. I'm pretty sure these go red, green, black. So that's going to go there. No, this didn't come pink. I made it pink. I have no idea where the ratchet is, but oh well. There's a ratchet. How convenient. So this rear end on the truck is a 20K pound Rockwell. Its two speeds are like 680 and 588 to 1, I think. And I discovered there was a problem. I mean, the first guess was when you decelerate and it makes a really loud droning sound. It's like, oh, that doesn't sound quite right. And so I was crawling underneath the truck and checking the U-joints. The first kind of suspect thing was that the U-joints looked great. You know, I'm kind of cynical, suspicious. So the U-joints looked new and they felt new. So I was like, well, that's not a good sign. And I mean, now I don't have to replace them, sure. But where the drive shaft goes into the rear end, where the yoke is, I pushed up and down and it moved. It's not supposed to move. And there's leaking all over. Like, this poor thing was not even in this shape at all. It was like a big blob of the goo from the rear axle and dirt and mud. It was just gross. It was pretty gross. So I cleaned it all up, and then I hooked it up to like a 12-volt wall packy thing to see if it would work. And the first time I didn't really think anything of it. And then I came back another day when I had more time, and I was like, well, let me come back and double check. And sure enough, now it worked. And so maybe it was the way I had moved it or something. So I looked online. You can buy a sort of brand new, same thing-ish for $350. And I'm like, well, let's not just spend money. And then there's that board that was in there. You could buy that board for, I think, $55, $56. And then I was like, well, and then so I took the board out, and then I noticed chunks of the resistor in there. So I went and got a new 1 ohm resistor, soldered it up, and this is probably going to be fine. Yeah, I mean, it sort of looked okay, but I figured we should start making our truck our own. So, yay, we made our little gasket. That's just fantastical. Now it'll keep goo out. This sits on the truck like this, and there'll be a plug that goes in. It says Eaton. And also stamped, probably melted into the plastic cover, 12-volt and 113760. I don't know what that is. And this says 113702. So probably modular pieces for 12, 24, whatever volts. Yeah, so that part's all done. So yeah, that's kind of the intro to the channel. I tried to start it a few times by recording videos that I was going to edit and put up, and you know what? I just don't. I don't have the confidence, I think. I'm just sort of weird. I'd rather go live and just go, hi, here I am. So hi, here I am. Um, I should have maybe made a script, but I didn't. So let's see. I was a veteran. I'm crazy. I'm trans. I'm an engineer. Um, I do software like for things that control automation, and then like embedded software. I can do websites, the HTML, the CSS, yeah, gently, but I also do databases and PHP because I do the reports for work. Yeah. So anyway, hi YouTube. Thanks for watching. Maybe in a month or 5, I'll have one subscriber, a family member I'll pay money to. That'll probably work. So anyhow, that's the servo I rebuilt to save $350. And it was just a lot of kerosene and rags and brushing all the goo off for a lot less than $300. Anyhow, thanks. We'll see you next time. It will stop immediately. Bye bye.